I was on my telephone earlier today and I saw a video about the 2000 All-Star game. Randy Johnson started. He's throwing fastballs between 93 and 97. Nice. Pumping.
That'll play.
We got other guys throwing 92 dick balls. 92 sinker dick balls in the All-Star game. I'm watching these playoff games. Everybody's throwing a hunch. Everybody's throwing a hunch. Guys have never heard of before throwing a hunch.
You wish you could have played back then?
Can I ask, why do we think, is it driveline? What is the reason behind every guy now? Like, as you said, Ranger Suarez is someone we've never seen. You know, a lot of people haven't seen, comes out, shoves. All these guys come out and shove and are throwing, this guy Munez on the Mariners. I had never seen him before the Yankees played him in August. Comes out throwing like 103 two-seamers. It's like, okay, where's this guy been? There's just seems like every time you see a team, there's some guy you've never heard of throwing 101 casually with movement. And it's like, how did this happen? I feel like even 5 years ago, we weren't really seeing this.
I think everybody's super athletic. I think everybody knows how to train their body for velocity, like far more than we've ever known before. And I think guys are being told to sell out and like get to their highest velocity. So it's an emphasis of training from a young age. And I think it's just a combination of all that stuff and the best arms, not necessarily accuracy or guys that can get outs, but the best arms are getting rewarded early. And so that's who's in the system. And you have a bunch of dudes just absolutely chucking it.
And it's just the technology now, like all the new sciences behind like the video you can watch to see like, oh, if you put your body in this position, like you can throw harder if you do this and that. Like it's just a lot more science behind it versus, hey man, like long toss and you'll get arm strength and start throwing harder.
And probably, Dakota, you tell me, if you're trying to find 3 to 5 miles an hour, if you go on video and you look at all the positions your body's in and then your release on the ball, where you're at, the consistency of your spin efficiency and all this stuff, say most guys, when they're brought into pro ball, can find that extra couple miles an hour from that type of stuff. Is that accurate?
3 to 5 might be a little extreme, but like 1 to 3, yes. 3 to 5 is a big jump. That's a big bump. Yeah.
That's what I'd say a good couple. I feel like there's a lot of dudes that, trying to think of some examples, but like a Dwayne Underwood that we played with, it was like 92, yes. 93, and then he finds a jump
That's
up
also,
to like
he
8,
got moved
9.
to the pen though, right?
Yes, and some of it's just like growing like into your body. Like if you get drafted, especially out of high school and you're 18, 19, by the time you're 25, you're going to be throwing hopefully 3 to 5 miles an hour harder than you were. Like I remember out of high school, I was 88, 90. And now at times I'll be like 3 to 5. It's just like growing into your body and like working out and just doing. I feel like also out of high school and even out of college, most programs don't have great arm care routines. And then you get into pro ball and it's like, oh, I got to do all this in between every time I throw. And it helps a ton, especially with velocity.
It's a huge point of emphasis because that's, you're getting paid to just take care of that wing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to win this series?
The Phillies
or the Phillies?
Phillies. You got to stick with my gut.
Zach?
I got Phillies too. I think that's the team of destiny. Team that was written off all. I'm not saying they're going to win the World Series. I think they go to the World Series. I think a team that looks as close as they are and kind of not beat the odds, but like they were getting like clowned on Twitter over a week ago, like when they were trying to fight. What was it against you guys? Like somebody lost the ball. I think Marsh lost the ball in the sun at Wrigley and it turned into a triple. And they were like, this team doesn't even want to fucking win. They this, that, and the other. And it's like, motherfuckers, like, this is a really good team. Get them in there and it can happen.
We did season sweep them this year.
Right.
Shout out to the Cubs.
Facto, the Cubs should be in the CS right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're a really good team. I think it's going to just come down to who's who gets momentum early in the series and who, because I think the Phillies are a really tight knit group. I think they are.
Is that something to say about Kyle Schwarber?
I think those guys are they have the right mix of guys that are signed to big long-term deals and young players who are just young players who are excited to be playing. They have a good mix.
I know Marsh pretty well. I played in the fall league with him, and that's a guy like
weird brag.
That's a guy where it's like, yeah, he's young, but he brings that energy to a team where it's like, guys are kind of scared to be themselves in a locker room. But like, I think the most successful teams are like what Ian was saying, the close-knit teams, the guys who are comfortable being there without being, way too comfortable. But like, he's somebody who plays like his hair's on fire. And I think that being young, like I think he's only 23, 24, and showing that, he has what it takes to do that, get big hits, play with that fire and energy. I think that goes such a long way. And then you have guys like Bryce Harper who do that and show how to win, like I think there's something to be said about all of those things.
That's what I was going to say. Is Bryce Harper maybe the best? Like he's the best player that is forgotten about. Like I feel like it's forgotten how good Bryce Harper is at baseball. It's every year. It's like, wait a second, this guy is really, really good.
Something, he just turned 30, has like 2 Silver Sluggers, an MVP,
2 MVPs,
2 MVPs, and it's like
6 or 7 All-Star games.
Is that like the Mike Trout effect? Like what you were saying before, Ian? Is it like, this guy's supposed to do that? He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was 16.
Yeah. His expectation was so high. And like whenever he has a year where he has like an 830 OPS or an 850 OPS, people are like, oh, Bryce, he's done. It's like, no. Still, he had a great fucking year. And then like the good years that he had, I think he had a stretch there at the end of his time in Washington where he had a couple years that weren't to his expectation, but they were still good. And then in the last maybe 2020, I mean, definitely last year when we won the MVP, his swing tightened up even more, and it got like really, really good.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I mean, we played him at the end of last year when he was locked in, and it was like, God damn.
He's made some adjustments where he doesn't clip as many balls. Like instead of clipping them, he flushes them, and it's 115, 440. Go get him.
I mean, he keeps getting better, laying off some stuff too. That in the past, I remember we played him in the 17 playoffs, and there's times when you could get him to swing at like curveballs under and some stuff in the dirt, get him to chase a little bit. He doesn't chase. He walks in an absurd clip, like he uses the whole field. I mean, he's a dangerous dude.
Do you think it's tough for somebody like him, where I would say for the most part of the year, because I mean Schwarber was leading off, but like Castellanos had a down year. I don't know what kind of year Hoskins had, but like once you get past Schwarber and Harper's up, like I wouldn't want to say they're going to throw around them, but they're going to tread lightly. Like it's like, hey, make somebody else beat us. Do you think that is also hard for a hitter too, where it's like, okay, I know they're not – I have a base open. I know – and it's early in the game. Like they're not going to walk me, but they're going to make me get myself out. And he's like, I want to fucking hit. I want to post. But at the same time, I need to do my job and get on. Like it's almost like back in the NL when guys would hit eighth in front of the pitcher. It's like, fuck, what are they trying to do to me here?
I think it's really tough. And I think they have a lineup that's set up better for it than most. I think JT's hitting behind him.
Castellanos hits behind him. JT hits 3. Harper 4. At least this game currently. It's
Okay.
Schwarber, Hoskins, Real Muto, Harper, Castellanos. And then Bohm.
Yeah, Bohm had hit like 290. Yeah, but regardless, like I think Harper is a guy he wants to drive guys in. Like he wants to be known for doing that. Like that's how you get paid and how you become a hero by driving runs in. And I think he's gotten a lot better at it throughout his career at like taking those walks and being okay with like letting the next guy do it. And I think that's why like this team is dangerous in the playoffs. Like Soto's really good at it, but that's why this team's dangerous in the playoffs, because Harper can get on, Castellanos gets hot. He's really, really good. and Bohm's a 300 hitter. So you kind of put all that mix together, and you're in a really good spot.
I was gonna say one thing we haven't mentioned though, and that's was a storyline throughout the year, and it'd be interesting to see if it comes up in this series. Is the Phillies' defense has been borderline atrocious, and I feel like that might. If you're asking me who I'd pick the Padres because I'm worried about the Phillies' defense, but we'll see. They does seem like they could be a team of momentum. One other thing I want to ask Zach. There's a great article today by our friends at Backyard Barbecue. They're talking about Brandon Marsh, and I don't know if you guys saw it. We talk about this in the office all the time. Brandon Marsh, his hair is perpetually always soaking wet to the point that it's like concerning. And we found out today that he goes into the dugout after every inning and dumps water in his head. Zach, was he doing this when you were playing with him?
I will say, now that you say it, like his hair was always wet. And that's all that I remember him as. It's like
wet hair guy. He's a wet hair guy.
Yes, that's him. That's who he is.
Did you ever see him doing the like wet hair routine?
I don't know. That was 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, the guy is the craziest, best person I've ever met. So it's like, you know, he would always get the boys going with pre-workout. Like he would be doing crazy shit with it. We're not like, so if he was doing that in the dugout, I would just look at him and go, oh, there goes Marsh. You know, like he's probably going to hit a homer after this too. Like the guy's one of the better hitters that I played with in my time. Like, I mean, the guy, again, he would do something. I'm like, yeah,
I'm surprised it's just water. Marisnik had like this gel that would like keep it looking wet the whole game. And he was really proud of this gel that he found to do that.
But that's the thing. I know what you're talking about, Marisnik. We played him again this year, and I noticed it too. I was like, is his hair wet? But Marsh's, like Tom said, it looks like, hey, someone just dumped a bucket of water on your head, didn't they? Like that's what his hair looks like.
We talk about it in the office all the time. He's got obviously the very long beard as well, but with the wet hair, he looks like he's like on a deserted island and just like got dropped in like to play center field, like on like 5 minutes notice.
It's a crazy look. There's dudes that want to be like, oh, I got a playoff series. I got a national TV game. Like I get lined up, got to make sure I shave, get all this right. That's Shorty.
That is Shorty.
This dude's like, fuck it. I want to look like a caveman.
He's more of the let's do something crazy that are gonna get the boys going. Don't care what I look like. Let's get the boys.
I saw there was a mic'd up. I watched. It was like a 5-minute video MLB posted. It was like all the best clips from this year, and then Ump was talking to him. There's like, hey man, you should shave your head and shave your face and just walk into the field tomorrow. Do you think that they would let you in? And he was like, there'd be no way that they would know who I am.
He's never like you when you play with him. He looked the same way, right?
The same exact way.
Well, that was like Johnny Damon when he got traded to the Yankees. I was like, wait a second, who's this guy?
Do you think he gets it trimmed up?
Kind of a good looking guy now. What'd you say?
Think he gets like a trim at all, or
he might clean it up, like clean the edges up, but like, dude, it's long.
I don't think he's ever cut that thing. I think that has like a mind of its own.
We didn't talk about it real quick with the Phillies. Rob Thompson, really cool. That they like he was interim and they turned it around and here they are and already got hired as like the permanent manager.
Did he?
That's
for
pretty
next
sick.
year? You have to.
Yeah, they already said like I don't know if he got like a 2-year deal or something like that, but like they already said like yep, he'll be back.
Imagine. Thanks. We're gonna go look for somebody else.
Yeah, thanks for turning it around and getting us the NLCS, but it's not gonna do it.
That was really pro of you.
I think it's cool how excited the players were. The players were like fired up that he got that.
And that's awesome. That shows you how good a manager is. Like if your team's fired up, like let's go, like that's so big. Like that is so huge in the clubhouse.
Obviously, like when Girardi got fired, like he's probably pumped up. He's like, wow, on the manager. But at the same time, he's probably like, like what the fuck did I just get myself into?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I mean, you're like, no matter who performs bad or great, it's on you. You can't fire the whole team. It's on you.
At the end of the day, if Bryce Harper goes 0 for 5 with 5 punches, that's on the manager. Or like if you miss the playoffs,
why didn't you pinch hit him in the 9th inning, bases loaded?
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's just how it is.
Talk about Muggsy.
Zach, how comfortable are Muggsy jeans?
I still have the pair that Ian gave me. I don't know if I've harped on that enough. That's 2019 in March.
Yeah, the light ones.
The lights I'll still wear them from time to time. I love them. They're stretchy. They don't bunch up. They're really comfortable. They don't feel like when I personally think of jeans, I'm like, oh, I gotta wear jeans. But like if I'm wearing those, I'm like, Sick. Wearing comfortable ass pants. Not even jeans.
That's called durability. That's what that's called. Most comfortable denim ever. I love my Mugsies. I only wear Mugsy. I'm a Mugsy only type of guy. I literally do not own another brand of jean. I only own.
There's two people in my life who only own Muggsy jeans: Ian Happ and James John Boy O'Brien. Those are the two people in my life. Muggsy only.
Two pretty big names. Two pretty big names right there.
It's good enough for them. It's good enough for you.
Mugsy guys. Yeah. Treat yourself.
It's perfect for the holiday season.
Head over to Mugsy.com using code JOHNBOY, 10% off. Free shipping. 10% off and free shipping. Most comfortable jeans you've ever worn. Code JOHNBOY, Mugsy.com. There's going to be 4 teams left. There's 4 teams left right now. If the Astros do not win the World Series, all of these great teams that could have been dynasties or were supposed to be dynasties, Cubs, Dodgers, Astros,
Yankees.
No, Yankees didn't have like a dynasty team in the last 6-7 years.
Yankees are always a dynasty team.
They're always, but they haven't even won one. I'm saying like of the teams that have won one
easy
in that time, everybody's won one. Dodgers have won one, Cubs have won one, Astros have won one, Braves got their one.
Quick interjection. Tom, that right there is why the Yankees are so great, because they won it 13 years ago, and it's looked at like, oh, they haven't won it in forever. That's how good the Yankees are. 13 years. That's not that long. I got your back, Tom. I got your back. That's why
I'm not saying they haven't been good, but the last time that we had a team that won multiple World Series in a short span was the Giants, 10, 12, 14. Since that time, since the 10, 12, 14 run of the Giants, every team has won one. Nobody's won more than one. For all the talk of how good all these teams are and the dynasties that are being built, it's really hard to win a World Series. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there. It's really, really hard to win a World Series. And if the Astros don't do it this year, there will still be all of those great teams that were put together and great groups of young players, only one per organization. Yes?
I was talking to my friend the other day about the Braves, and he was saying, am I crazy to say that the Braves are going to win the next 4 out of 6? And I'm like, dude, you're absolutely nuts. Like,
it's so hard.
They're going to be in it.
That was before the playoffs started this year. And I was like, dude, you have no idea how hard it is. And that's why teams try to lock up their guys so much, because you have no idea when you're going to get back. You have no idea.
I mean, they're going to be in it. They're going to be around. They're going to be fighting for that East title, and they're going to be in the playoffs, but tough.
And that's exactly the point. Like, you named the Astros, Dodgers, Braves, like all those teams that have won. And it's like, exactly like you say, the Braves are going to win 4-6. It's like, what about the Dodgers? They got to beat the Dodgers. They got to beat the Padres. Phillies are really good. You got the Yankees on the other side. Rays are a good team. Astros are a good team. Boston's a really, like, you have all these teams, and it's like, yeah, like the Dodgers won however many games they won this year, and they're out in the DS. That's how hard baseball is to win all the time.
I was a part of the last one, but the Cubbies went to 3 CSs in a row, and then we didn't really in 15 to 17, and then we didn't really get back to that, because we got bounced in some wild cards, but like that was a huge accomplishment, and it felt like at the time like it was a real letdown to what we were supposed to do. But shit, it is tough. It is tough to have things line up and be healthy and have. But I think this postseason is such a great example of why just getting to the playoffs and being there, and, no matter what it takes to get in, just being in the fight is like so important.
Never know.
Let's do screen time presented by Sloan. I like Sloan flushers. You like Sloan flushers. That's a different ad. How do you guys feel about Sloan flushers? When was the last time you flushed?
I have not gone to the bathroom in my parents' house since I've been home, which is unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do for the company.
You know what would be
it's a company, man.
A really good son would go and get all of their flushers replaced and made them into a Sloan household.
Christmas gift.
You could automate all of their flushers for Christmas.
Could you imagine?
They'd love it.
They would absolutely love it.
Oh, that's good.
Tom,
my screen time is 6 hours on the dot.
Ooh.
5:57.
Oh, but then looking at it, I was, dang it.
6 hours, 39 minutes.
4:49.
Yeah.
I was like, Ian's definitely going to win this one as soon as I heard this. That's a gimme
I thought I
for
was going to be
Ian.
in trouble. You guys just spend all day on the phone or what?
It's the off season, man. There's not much going on. It's either golf or
Ian, as somebody who spends their time on the phone like you do, you're getting the loophole. There's a loophole that you're getting through here because when we lived together, you were on your phone more times than you were not.
I don't think phone calls
don't really
screen
screw
time though.
Like I text more than I'm on the phone. So
Phone calls don't count?
You gotta. Well,
don't
there's
think
the,
so.
the screen's not on when it's up to your.
That seems like a loophole. Yeah.
Or if you got your
That seems like a
AirPods, then I
loophole.
think it's closed.
Hey man,
But he's not technically looking at his phone for that. So I'll give
yeah,
him
but
that.
you're
That's fair.
on the phone.
but you
that's
know what?
okay. You're conversing.
You know what it's not about? It's not about productivity. Okay? It's not about going out there, building relationships and making some calls, seeing how people are doing. It's not about that. Okay. It's about, do you really need to be that extra half hour on the TikTok?
Yeah, kind of.
So-
Really,
Yes,
really need to be.
absolutely.
Sometimes
opening
it's the only thing that
phone,
gets me
checking,
through the day.
Scrolling.
Makes
You need to
me
be
laugh.
scrolling.
100%.
Makes me laugh.
It's like that. Like on Saturday, you think Tom didn't need a good hour of TikTok to calm himself down after the Yankees lost and be like, man, we're done. This is it.
You know, we should ask the people. We should ask if we have this TikTok. The compound has a TikTok, and we do kind of clips of the show. We're on there. But if we did during the off season, like we went to play golf and we filmed the hole that we were playing, or Zach was working on his driver on the range and he was showing us that he's hitting it 385. Is that something people want to see on the old TikTok? They want to see Dakota do some arm care.
Well, that's the thing.
There's some weighted
You
balls.
told me to film stuff. You told me to film stuff, and I was like, I don't know if they want to see my golf swing. It's pretty bad.
I have a few good ones of Dakota on my
That's
phone.
content.
No, we don't need. I know the one you got in mind. We don't.
Sounds like we need it. Sounds like we gotta have it.
It was an absolute duck hook into a tree 10 feet to my left.
Been there.
And all you hear is
My swing's way better since then. All right, I've adjusted it. I've watched videos. I've learned. I've gotten better.
I think we should ask the people, see what they want.
Can I give a quick shout out to Sarah, who is our TikTok editor? She edits all the TikToks. She
Sarah.
is also the main graphic designer for John Boy Media, and this is obviously a very busy time for her. She sent me the TikTok the other night at 12:45 a.m., and I responded, "Are you okay?" Because she's insane, but in the best possible way, and she's continuing to get out the TikToks, even though she has 25 other things to do. So shout out to Sarah.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sarah.
that's Sarah.
Sarah, thanks for grinding.
She's also, if you like any of the graphic design from John Boy Media, it's all Sarah on social media.
Did she draw that picture of you behind you?
No, she did not. That's not me. That's Dan Canobia. That's a.
I know it's not you.
Because he was gonna say you're fired.
That's episode 132 of the Compound Podcast. See you next week. Things are getting off the rails. Parse.
Rum.
Rum.